All right, we are back. The weekend scores. I was a little hungover from a birthday party on Friday, even though it was Sunday when I started doing scores. So I moved a little slow. I got to the Sunday salvage sales a little late. I wasn't feeling it, and people probably already got everything good, and everyone said there wasn't anything good. But I still got a little bit of stuff. And then, today, which is Monday, I went and got a little bit more stuff, and then I went and got a little bit more stuff. So still not a lot, but let's check it out. Ha! All right, went to the chain rings, found one 110 BCD black alloy. It looks like crappy steel, but it's alloy, and there's nothing wrong with steel. Shimano 9 or 10, 34 tooth. It still looks like it's like 90-95% life left. It's a little dirty, but this is pretty dope, and I kind of want it for the old Schwinn. But now I've been riding more and doing some knee exercises. Like, I've been pushing bigger gears without my knees hurting, and as long as I don't stand more than like once, it's pretty cool. We're looking around. I wasn't finding much that was cool. Looks like one complete set with mostly, maybe even brand new or good pad, very lightly used Tektro V-brakes. I don't know why I keep grabbing V-brakes. I used to grab them when I found them for the old shop because customers always had old V-brake hybrids that were mangled. I'll put them up on the internet on eBay for $10 or something, or maybe keep them because they're one complete good set. Sell my other partials and mismatched sets and stuff. I found one little bag of chainring bolts. I do not know why I got it. It's because some of them are weird. The backs are weird. They're like domed and slotted and different. Oh, they have really cool black alloy spacers. There might only be 4. It might be a set of 4. Oh yeah, the fronts are alloy and Torx. Some weird 4-bolt spacers. I don't know. I always save spacers, but then whenever I need them, I have them. I looked at the tools and I found another multi-tool. I have like 5 million of these now, but they're cool. This one's got a little Torx bit and the screwdrivers and all the regular little Allens. Oh, I didn't even notice that. That's extra dope. Hidden on the inside is a little 8 on like a little peg. You can take the 8 off and put it on the 6. So you have an 8. So now I actually really like this multi-tool because it's got all the Allen sizes, plus the 8, plus the screwdriver, plus the T25 Torx for like modern disky things, plus the flathead. This is actually cool. I think I'm going to leave this in my car. I bought another 8mm because I know I bought like 3 or 4. I have these overflowing buckets of all my spare and extra tools I need to go through. See what I'm going to put on the board and use. But I keep needing an 8 and I keep not being able to find it because it like falls to the bottom of the bucket. So check this out. I'm hoping this is the 8. It is not. Not an 8. Not an 8. Maybe it's a 10. I feel like I tried a 10 it wasn't a 10. Maybe it's a 9, which seems wingnutty. Maybe it's something standard. But this is the base that I got for $5 at a salvage sale a couple of weeks ago. It's the home mechanic version, the professional stand for the bench mount one. And then last week I found this arm, and I got a crazy good deal on it at City Bikes because they're like kind of going through stuff and winding down. So now, I'm $25 into a stand that's like $250 new, and the new ones are kind of junk. I used to have one of these old ones I kept in my frame builder bench. This is like an extra thing to hold forks, stones, brazing, or whatever, so I don't have to take things out and out of the stand so much. And I really liked it. It was great. I think I just took whatever size Allen wrench it was and I stuck it in there and I brazed it in so it would never come out. So I just had the wrench all the time for leverage. So I still got to find the right wrench. I think my doctor buddy, my dog park doctor buddy who flies all over the world and has a Tesla and is probably rich and owns like 2 houses, one in Ireland and one here because he's trying to move to Ireland because his wife's got dual citizenship or whatever. But he will not pay any money for my tools or parts. He really wants me to clean his bike better. So I think I've talked him into buying this stand for me for very cheap. I think I told him like $50, which is still a great deal. And I'm going to go over and help him mount it on his tool bench so he can fix flats and clean his chain and stuff more easy. And his wife's bike. So that'll be a fun project. Gary found some BMX Gary not wearing the shirt. He found some stuff. I saw these cables. Looks like some brand new road brake cables. I'm hoping they're all stainless. Sure looks stainless to me. It's very hard to tell the difference. The galvanized are a little duller. Usually stainless are a little more shiny. Ooh, they're pulled and drawn and smooth. So probably SRAM or something. And they're all brand new. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, what do shops charge these now? At least $5 last time I checked. I bet you a lot of shops are up to 8 or 10 for these now. 5, 10, 15, 20, $25 worth of brand new road brake cables. And then he saw these housings. Here's a little kit. This says SRAM index housing with a couple of ferrules and a couple of cable tips. Here's a little thing of black, generic. I see no logos. It's probably something cheap. Who cares? Use it on a tune-up. Flip bike and it'll be good for that. It's lined. I'm sure it's Clark's or something terrible. And another little thing of SRAM. Looks like index with a few ferrules and a couple of cable tips. So that was cool. So one set of opened Cool Stop V-brake pads. They are brand new with pins and extra pins. Cool. Found a soft ride stem. It is saying it's $5. I think that's Sharpie. Maybe some other paint on here. Maybe someone's trying to paint it black. Who knows? This bolt's a little mangled. It was hammered on. So I'm going to see if I have a better bolt. This wedge bolt, because it's gross. And make sure everything else is fine. And I'll take the Sharpie off with some rubbing alcohol. And I'll put this on the eBay. I got $80 for mint condition one of these the other day. I got 40 or 50 for one missing some parts and the scuffy one. So I bet you I can get at least 40 or 50 for this soft red stem, and $2 a pound. I probably paid $5 or $8 for it, but these are, 90s mountain bikes are cool, and guys want them. Guys want to try them and stuff, so why not? I also found one silver 27.2 seat post. So I'm not sure if I have one. It's just generic and silver. And I'm going to need one for the Paramount. Anyone's still excited about this Paramount build. It's got to be getting done. I should probably start working on it again soon. I just felt like a black Fuji 27.2 seat posting is all I had. I need one in there to work on. And in worst case, I can scrub this a little something or other and make it look presentable if I can't find anything better before the time the build's ready to be done. And then just when I thought I was done, just when I was going to give up, I was looking at the pumps, and boom, here is a steel chrome in very good shape, patent Camping Yellow head on a little Silca pump. And these little Silca pumps to the right old guys are worth a little bit of money. If you pump this up a few times, it almost starts holding pressure. But these Campy heads can go for $10 or $15 even kind of scruffy shape. So I was very glad I found this. Silca Imperio, it definitely needs to be rebuilt if it wants to be used. It's kind of cool. God, maybe I should save this. Maybe this would be cool on the Allegro. Ugh. Old stuff that needs to be rebuilt and doesn't work. So that is it. I mean, that's like nothing for Sunday salvage. Just the lightest I've ever gotten out of there with. I only saw a few things on other guys' hands I would have bought if I would have found them first. So I was like, whatever. It's worth a hungover drive across town. He only charged me $20 for all of this, so it's an insanely good deal. And then, a couple days ago, I saw these wheels on the internets. As a dude I recognize. So I went to his place. I bought them. They're a little rougher than they look. The bearings don't feel gruffy, but they're too tight. So I think maybe with a little overhaul they would feel amazing. They don't feel like they're pitted. But they are Shimano 600s 6207 freewheel wheels. So the chrome's all pitted on this dust cap. They're in pretty good shape. The side that's visible has one little dinger on it from dropping a chain or something on it. The spokes aren't that great, and a few of them have been replaced. Like several on this front, jeez. And they're on 27-inch rims, and he said some of the spokes were frozen, but they're pretty round and true. So I think I'll probably break them down just for the hubs. And then stickers on the front. 6207, Shimano 600, woo! So I'd probably just bought them put on eBay. He wanted $20 for the pair. I think I can get 40 or 50 for these hubs on eBay. He also, and I don't know what I did with them. I put them in my pocket. I brought them somewhere. He also kicked in some kind of scruffy 62 or 60. Yeah, I think they're 6200 levers, but they're Aero, so they're really early ones. I don't think they're SLR. Either the springs are broken. With the hoods, and they're in okay shape. And instead of charging me 20, he charged me 10, and he threw that in. He had a 6400 Shimano 600 bottom bracket. Not the best shape. A little pitted, but barely. I wouldn't put him on a nice build until someone was a nice bike. If I put him on a beater or a rider, I wonder what I did with him. I'll find him somewhere. So that's cool. And then this guy was telling me about this other frame, and I'm like, oh yeah, you want to see it? He's like, yeah, he had all this stuff outside in his backyard. He's like, I don't usually let people in my garage, but I know you. I was like, cool. And he opened the door to his garage. Oh my god, guys. He had 20 bikes in there, a bunch hanging up. And you're like, well, whatever. And he showed me this cool frame, and it's some hand builder frame from South Dakota from 20 years ago. And apparently the guy now runs the American Made Frames Facebook group or something, he was saying. I don't even think I'm on that group. And had a Joe Bell paint job, and the paint was pretty good from the early 80s. From 1980, he said. It's gorgeous. It says a little too big, and I was like, psh, it's a 2-ring frame, but no cannies. It's like, man, if you sell it way too cheap, I'll buy it. You know, I'm like an inch taller than you, I'm my size. But I think his idea of cheap and mine are different. This guy, he just bought a house, and it's nice, and can afford stuff. He has all these bikes. And I started peeping at some of his other bikes. And, you know, there's like a Surly there with like the S&S couplers and a Dynamo hub and, you know, Thompson stems and all the boring stuff. And then I noticed a really nice bike, and it was a Map from my friend Mitch Pryor. Did Map Cycles, rando bikes. He really inspired me. He's one of my favorite builders ever. He was here when I first learned how to build. He came to my shop and showed me how to set up my torches and stuff. Then he had an Ahern next to that, which is another amazing local builder. Ahern actually taught the class I took on how to build frames. He taught me a 2-week class on frame building. It was the second ever class and his first class at UBI's Portland campus. We opened a Portland campus for a while. And then we were talking about something else, and I mentioned Mark Danucci. It came up for some reason, and he pointed he had an 80s Danucci. He said it took him 20 years to track down. He like test rode it as a kid and was in love with it, couldn't afford it. And he had a couple other beautiful handmade bikes. He was showing me some crazy single speed handmade like 26er mountain bike that he put 650B on single speed only, but had the Traveler S&S coupler stainless in it and the craziest smoke paint job. Just beautiful handmade bike. He said he paid like $600 for the whole bike on eBay. With the S&S couplers cost more than $600 to have installed. The paint job was a real nice liquid paint job around them. That paint job had to be way more than $600. I mean, like maybe double or triple. And he said I think it came with some parts, and he swapped them out. But I mean, he had just bike after bike, and he had story after story with them. Almost all of them had Dynamo front wheels. Like this guy just had like a cool bike collection. So when I got home, I texted him, I'm like, dude, he's asking me what I was doing. I told him I was making this YouTube videos, and he's like, oh, that's a bunch of money. And I'm like, I think maybe if you have 100,000 subscribers, like tens of thousands of views, you get like, 0.5 cents per view or something. Like if you're super rich and famous, I think you make money on YouTube. But no, I just spend all my time doing this, and it makes me $0, and it costs me a bunch of dollars just to keep buying stuff for making videos. And he's like, oh, okay, cool. And I was thinking about it, I texted him like, it was cool, you just telling me all these bikes and showing me them, like, can we come like do a YouTube video at your house? And he said, yeah, maybe, blah, blah. I barely read the text, I'll take a screenshot and put it up here. So I'm gonna try and talk him into it. Maybe, it'd probably take 2 or 3 or 4 videos to go through all these cool bikes he had. But it would be cool to go to his shop and just talk about these cool bikes. Maybe pull them down, get some really nice detailed close-up shots, some little B-roll for the background, and have him tell some of the cool stories about them. Like, one of the maps he had, he said was the 4th map ever built. He said him and Mitch were working together at the time. I think that means Mitch was working as a wheel builder for Performance Cycles, or one of those kind of bigger online shops that had a Portland location. He was working as a wheel builder there for a long time. And Mitch taught Brian from Stoke Wheels how to build wheels back, when Brian was just starting out before Mitch became a frame builder. So we had like one of Mitch's earliest bikes. I would love to take it down with some close-up detail shots of it, like just gorgeous, gorgeous handmade 650B rando bikes that inspired everything I ever did. So maybe he said maybe we can work that out. Even if we can only go do a tour of, 2 or 3 of them, get a few pictures, like that'd be amazing. If we could go do a bunch of them. This guy's collection was nicer than any shop I've ever been in. I was joking. I'm like, your garage is better than every handmade show I've ever been to for bikes. Like, it's all cool stuff. It's Dynamo Hubs, it's Rando-y, it's Portory, city bikes, it's all the stuff I like, with none of the modern-y stuff I'm just not into. Like, really, the best in that 80s Danucci with all Dura 7400 8-speed. It's gorgeous with arrow shifters. So maybe that's the thing. I've also been talking to this guy with this Bob trailer for a while. I've been looking for a Bob trailer, and 4 or 5 have popped up, and I haven't jumped on them quite fast enough. And I've always wanted one. People keep telling me they're better. Keep telling me they don't bug you while you're riding. Like a lot of the kid trailers I've used in the past, like they always feel like they're weighted down and yanking on you. They just feel like they're tugging on you and slowing you down and make your bike feel heavy. And then this guy in his ad said would trade for a front rack that would fit his Surly. And I know those Surleys have mid mounts and a fork crown mount. And I have this rack, which I got at the Goodwill bins the other day. It was like one of my weekend scores a couple weeks ago. So I strapped it back on my rando bag and rode it over to this guy's house. And we held it up, and it looked like it fit his Surly just fine. I gave him a bunch of brand new bolts and nuts that I thought would be all the right things. I think are all the right things to mount it. And this old Bob trailer is a little janky and old. Like, the fender is all rattling loose. The bolt fell while I was riding. It was dragging, and the tire's 20 years old. And I think they had a Bob tire the right size in the free box at Sunday Salvage Sale last week. So maybe it's still there next week when I go. So I went and I got it, and it was like a 3.5 mile ride out to get it. And it was right by my favorite grocery outlet, Gross Out, the used food mart, my favorite. So I got some snacks and rode around with it and rode it back. I definitely need to modify the skewer. The skewers want to slip on my stainless faces on my dropout. I think the skewers are too long, and like the bolts that like pinch the Bob trailer are bottoming out on it. So I think I need to like just grind a couple of threads off those bolts, or find some shorter ones, or maybe cut a couple of threads off the skewer. We'll see. I'll play with it. I got a couple of backup skewers at a swap meet a while ago. No, I'm gonna get a Bob trailer eventually. I'm not sure what size. I know they make different width skewers, and I have a 130 hub, and everything's made for 135, and blah blah blah. So I got this cool Bob trailer. It's too cold tonight, but I'm gonna give it a tune-up, overhaul that hub and bolt the fender down correctly and put an ugly dorky mud flap on. Maybe that Sasha White mud flap from Vanilla Cycles they got the other day. Modify that and put it on. Bougie, bougie, bougie. I might beat up old used Bob trailer. These Bob trailers, I Googled it. These things are $993 brand new, and they often sell for $350 used. They pop up once in a while for like $250 or $150, and they're gone instantly. So I swapped him a $90 specialized pizza rack that I got at the Goodwill bins. It's 2 pounds, and they charge $2.29 a pound, so $4.50, $4.80, whatever. For a Bob trailer, he wanted $100 for it. Swapped it straight across. Test tried it, so I'm gonna have to mess with the skewer a little bit, but I would definitely want to mess with the safety catches and stuff. They seem a little sketchy to me, especially with my dog in the back. I want something. I'll figure out a better gate pin system or some sort of safety or redundancy for it. And I didn't put any weight in it. I went to Gross Out, but I didn't have a cargo net or anything. The only thing big I could think to buy was toilet paper, and I knew it would bounce out, so I didn't. So I'll get some bungee cords and take it out again. Maybe buy some, laundry soap or a watermelon. Try and put some weight in it. Or I guess right around here I have weight. I got a kettlebell on it right around too. That's like, so yeah, I've been wanting a Bob trailer for years. So I finally got one. Real come up, real trade up, Pretty stoked on it. I rode it back the 3.5 miles, but with no weight in it, but I couldn't tell it was on the bike. It felt nice. And it's all chromo, but it does not feel heavy, so I am pretty into it. I said it was the first generation one. I gotta Google some pictures of the dropouts and all the stuff, but so I got some scores, and on Thursday I'm driving to Camas, Washington. It's a 50-minute drive. A guy has, it looks like a kind of 80-20, some jig I've never heard of, can't identify it by eye, but it looks like he has the instructions. Looks like it's never been used. Frame builder jig. Box O tubes, some dropouts, lugs, some stuff. He had a Facebook Marketplace post, but then his Facebook got suspended. You know, luckily we'd already exchanged numbers. His wife texted me, and it's like, oh, his Facebook got suspended, but I could log into mine and see your message. He only made it for trying to sell this jig. So it's a frame builder jig, it's a bunch of tubes, lugs, it's thousands of dollars of the stuff. He wants $650 for it. I made more than rent by $1 this week, so I'm like, oh. But I got some money in savings, so I'm gonna pull it out, I'm gonna go look. I'm just gonna buy it to put it in storage because I don't have a place to build frames yet. I don't even know if I want to ever build frames again. I'm sure I do. I want to build myself something. You know, if the passion hits me, I'll have the stuff to do it, and some free tubes and lugs and stuff to start. So that is my story, and I am sticking to it. I will, if I don't publish this video, I'll update it. If I buy this jig or not, get some pictures. If I do publish it, I'll update it next week. I forgot to pack my eBay stuff tonight. People are gonna be pissed. I better do it. Drop it off first thing in the morning. So, thanks for watching.